Hello, my name is Ralph, and I sat down with mindset coach Elizabeth Nader to talk about limiting beliefs that hold back entrepreneurs in their businesses. I asked her the most common limiting belief that she sees across clients that she works with.
I love this question, and I'm going to give you like the number one that I see, and it's not what you think. And that is the fear of success. That to me is the most fascinating limiting belief and the most common. Now, most people would say to me, well, it's got to be fear of failure. I mean, everyone has that. Yes, I run into that 100%. But the one that is more insidious and the one that I find people have more in common that don't realize it until you uncover it is a fear of success. That's the one that holds people back. Because here's the thing, fear of failure, all right, it's pretty obvious to see. We all sort of know what that looks like and feels like. We don't want to be rejected. We don't want something to not work. So it's pretty easy for me to say to you, okay, Ralph, you're holding yourself back because what if it doesn't work? I mean, this is not going to take a genius for me to really identify that. We'll do some work to find out where it's coming from so we can solve it. But the fear of success doesn't sort of, you don't wear it like a banner and say, look, I'm struggling with this fear of success. It's people who will self-sabotage or get themselves to a point and then they don't push any further, or purposely, it seems like everything they do kind of just ends up imploding, or the fears that they have about success end up making them play small, but they don't see it that way, or they claim to be more conservative and not risk takers, but the truth is it's a fear. So there are different ways that it shows up, and what I found is that it's more common than people realize. It is one of the most important things you need to address, and you have to, in doing it, you have to find out how you define success, because as children, we pick up on things, we are taught things, we catch things, and we figure out at some point in life what success looks like. Well, for some people, success is not a good thing because somebody in their life, let's take an easy example, their father was successful and there was never home and worked all the time. Or they saw somebody in their neighborhood and the parents would say, yeah, they're very successful, but they're really, selfish, and he's a miser and he counts his money, whatever. So you get this way of having success defined for you. So when you think about, oh, I want to have this great life and I want to be successful, at some point in an unconscious way, but it's very significant, you align it with certain things. And if your definition of success includes anything negative, you will get to a point and then you will back away because you are afraid you're going to be that person, or you will emulate those values, or you will fall into that trap. Or another part of it that's fascinating is that success brings more scrutiny. And this is true today, more than it's ever been. The more successful you are, the more exposure you have, because that's naturally what happens unless somehow you're hiding your success from people, right? So in the world of social media and in the world of 24/7 sort of connection, the more successful you are, the more people weigh in on you, the more you're exposed, the more you have a voice, or the more that people notice you or comment, the more that you are then up for that scrutiny. And people don't want that. You have your definition of success, which can hold people back because maybe for them it's a negative. Then you have the whole, I don't want to be scrutinized. And you'll find some entrepreneurs, especially incredibly intelligent, successful, potential entrepreneurs who are massive introverts, and they don't want exposure, and they don't want to be seen as, a leader in their industry to the degree that they then have to have a voice, because when you have that voice, then people criticize you. And then how do you ever go back into, anonymity, which is where you enjoy being? You can't really do it anymore. So the fear of success really is a few of those elements. But when people ask me that one is ubiquitous, and it's going to show up eventually, and it may not in the beginning, but all of a sudden, when you start to get to that point where you're really meant to be, that's when all the resistance comes against you to say, you don't want to go there. Here are all the reasons why. And you start to second guess yourself.